Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing pretty good. Alright, so today I wanted to make another video, and this video is basically about allowing versus resisting. What is allowing versus resisting? Okay, now keep in mind, allowance basically is the key to manifest or to create. That's the biggest secret, okay? So you want to be in a state of allowance, okay? Now resisting is of course the opposite of allowing. Resisting means creating some sort of energy resistance or some sort of blocks, okay? Now that can prevent you from really manifesting and creating your desires. So we change this up a little bit here. All right, so allowing versus resistance. So how do we accomplish this? Okay, first of all, if I ask you a question and I said, who are you? Who you are, okay? You know, you'll naturally answer me and says, well, Mark, you know, my name, you give me your name and you tell me a little bit about yourself. But if I can tell you, look, that's not really who you truly are, okay? Then you say, what, Mark, what do you mean? Who am I truly? Well, if I told you today that you are a spiritual being, okay, inside a body or a shell, how would that make you feel? How would you react? Well, some of you would maybe agree with me. Some of you may say, whoa, what is this guy talking about? Is he going crazy or something? Well, keep in mind, guys, I said before in previous videos, if you know how your mind works, if you know how the universe works, if you know how your body works, if you know how your brain works, then you will see the science and the facts. Fact number one is this: your mind, that voice in your head, it exists independently of your brain. Your brain is just an organ or a tool it uses to communicate, to see reality, or to feel, to touch in this reality. That's number one. Number two, your brain uses your eyes as a tool to see. Let me repeat that. The brain uses the eyes as a tool to see. Keep that in mind now. The eyes don't use the brain to see. The brain uses your eyes to see. Very important point. So number one, what does that say about you? That says, Mark, the things that I'm seeing and I'm witnessing are created through my brain. My brain creates what? Electrical signals that transmits as perceptions or pictures or reality, okay? So that's a clear indication to let you know that, hey, you're something more than just flesh and blood, all right? Now, why is this important? Well, this is important because if you are a multi-dimensional being, if you are a spirit within a body, that means you can control all the elements of the universe. Look, spirituality. What is spirituality? Number one, spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Religion and spirituality is two different things. What spirituality basically means is believing in something beyond the physical, believing in something in the spirit, not physical, okay? That's all spirituality means, not religion. Religion has nothing to do with spirituality. That's what you must get in mind, okay? Okay. So now that you have an awareness, remember, awareness means what? Knowledge, understanding. That's the beginning, okay? That's the beginning of awareness, to raise your consciousness. Okay, so now that you have an awareness of who you are, then the question becomes, okay, Mark, I am this. So what is preventing you from really manifesting and creating your desires? What is preventing you from going out and having control or domain in the quantum or the spiritual world, right? The non-physical world, so to speak? Well, here's a stopper. It is known as your ego, your conditioned mind. The number one reason it stops you is because it can reason, it can think, so it forms an idea of who you think you are, not who you really are. See the difference? If you knew who you really are, okay, then you can take back your mind. But because you have an ego, the ego what? It creates something else. It creates a reality of who you think you are. That is the biggest issue. That's what stops a lot of us, okay? So first, we know that our conditioned, our ego, is the force or the part of our mind that really stops us. The ego will let you believe that you're not connected, that this is all there is. That is an illusion, number one. Number two, the ego does this because it feels you really have nobody else. It feels it must solve your problems. It feels it must protect you. It's doing its job. So that's why it always believes. Here's the key, guys. Your ego only believes, okay? Only believes that whatever you have now is the best you can do. So it creates from that. So if you desire to win lottery money or be a successful entrepreneur or get a mate or have whatever, and you don't have it now in this present moment, your ego will believe that you cannot have it. So then what it does, fights you with what? The fear, the doubt, doesn't like you to take the risk, and then what do? You succumb to its habits. So that's what we must be aware of. Now, when I say, what is allowance versus resistance? Allowing basically means to focus on the desires that you want to accomplish. Allowance is this: if you develop an allowance frequency, this is what it is. It means that you continually focus and see the things that you want to accomplish, see the desires you want to manifest. If you continue to do that, your mind now will develop a habit of repetition, and it will become your dominant vibrational frequency match with the universe. So that's all allowance means, guys. Allowance means focusing and feeling good on what you desire. And if you practice it and do it repetitive, it becomes your dominant vibrational frequency. Because remember, we're always giving off vibrational frequencies, and we live in a universe of what? Attraction. Okay? That's number one. That's allowance. So that's how you become, that's how you allow. Number two is this. What is the resistance? Now here comes the resistance or the detachment. The reason you find it very difficult to detach, or where resistance comes in, is because of your failure to accept your present reality. A lot of us fight where we are in the moment because we feel or we think there has to be something better. So you resist this present moment you're in, hoping and wishing for a future event that will make you happy. You create resistance because here's number one: time doesn't exist the way we see it. Time is only what? Moment, present moment. So if you cannot accept where you're at in this present moment, how can you see something else in the future and it's not there? See? You're disconnected. So it cannot be that. So what you have to do is this: you have to accept your present moment, but eagerly reach and focus on something better that you know you will attract. That is the biggest secret right there. Accept your present moment for what it is. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying, but you do not want to complain, because if you complain, give an example. If your present awareness is a state where you don't have any money, and you're complaining and you're given power and say, man, I don't have any money, I can't get this and I cannot accomplish that, then what are you doing? You guess what? You're creating a vibrational match with what? That frequency. If I don't have it, I'm in lack. And of course, by now you know how your subconscious mind works. It will what? It will create the vibrating frequency that will bring it out. Boom, you will attract it into your present reality. Hence, you create more of what you do not want. So that's the keys now. There's the big keys. Here's another key point I want to help you with. Big key right here. The easiest way to figure out who's running the show, if the ego does the ego control me, or does my subconscious mind? Here's the biggest key. If you ever have desires or feelings and thoughts that are moving you towards what you want or what you desire, that is the true you. That is known as your higher self. Okay? But if you have feelings of thoughts and doubts of what you do not want, that is the ego. There it is, guys. There's a line right there. Now you have the difference, the differentiation right there. Okay? If your feelings and thoughts are moving you toward what you desire, then guess what? We live in a what? An attraction universe. So if your feelings or thoughts are in line with that part of the spectrum, then you are moving towards it. It is coming to you right now. But if your feelings and thoughts are in line with negativity, doubt, fear, lack, that's the ego. Okay? Here's a catch-22. Because your ego fights you back with fear, doubt, and worry or lack, those are emotions, and they come from where? The subconscious mind. So even though the ego cannot create your reality, it affects it in a way that your subconscious mind creates. Because keep in mind, what the subconscious mind does, it creates with feelings and emotions. And remember, what does it do also? It doesn't judge. What it does also, it doesn't care. It doesn't have it. It just goes with commands. So if your ego is saying to you that we cannot do this, I'm fearing this, I cannot accomplish this, this is not going to make sense, I can't get this, then that's going to create an emotional feeling. And your subconscious mind is doing its job. It's basically putting those feelings up to you to let you know that, hey, the real purpose of feelings are to give you a sign to let you know what you're vibrating. So it's saying, hey, we are feeling something here that's not in alignment with us. Okay? But because according to universal law, I have to match this frequency. Even though you could be the nicest guy in the world, it doesn't care. It just has to match it. That's the universal law. So it's not gonna say, okay, I know you're a good guy, I'll let this slide this time. You know, I'm gonna let this feeling pass and I won't attract it. Nope. It's gonna create. It's gonna attract it. That's what you have to know. So now you know the difference between ego and conscious. So what you want to do, you want to step beyond that egotistical part of your mind, okay, with the fear, doubt, and worry, and you want to flip it. So anytime you get the feeling of fear, doubt, lack, and worry, you have the awareness that, oh, Mark says, this is what Mark means now. This part of my mind is the ego. It's trying to control me because of the past emotions. So what do? I must go beyond it. And now these feelings that are coming up, which are fear, doubt, lack, and worry, I must flip them around, and I must now turn them and focus on what I desire, which is, if you lottery, entrepreneur, business, house, job, car, health, whatever you desire, you bring it in, boom, it starts to attract. Here's the key. These are what are known, these are universal laws. The laws of quantum mechanics, the laws of quantum physics, the laws of light spectrum, the laws of all molecules in the universe. They follow these laws, and these laws are past the point of breaking. These laws are absolute. You cannot break them. Okay, that's how the universe works. So you will get what you put in to bring out. Okay, because remember, okay, key point, guys. Remember, physical, then we have spiritual. Spiritual just means non-physical. I believe in something beyond the perceived physical. And guess what? The quantum world works in that type of frame. Now here's something you might not understand. So you put something out and you desire something, and your present reality now is one of chaos, or you see things going on, you're saying, man, I'm doing these things but nothing is manifesting. Well, here's the point. The universe works in a precise order of cause and effect. So things to you that are looking confused and jumbled up, out of mess, it is just because you're witnessing something that you cannot understand as yet. You cannot understand the complexity of how the universe works. There is a term in physics that is known as entropy. Entropy states that all things must decay. In other words, if you leave your house the way it is and you do not fix anything, your house is going to be in a natural state of decay, meaning that dust will start to form, things will start to fall out of place. That is known as entropy. Things will always try to break up. If you drop a glass cup, the cup will break into pieces. Okay, doesn't come back. That is entropy. That is a natural law of the universe. But because when we see that, we do not understand what it is. We think, because of our reason, rational mind, that it means something bad, something chaotic. But what you're witnessing is something that you do not understand yet. What you're witnessing is a complex event of the universe working with cause and effect to bring things together, to manifest from that non-quantum world into your perceived physical world. And once you're in alignment, and you're in what is known as what? The allowance state. Once you're in allowance state, guess what comes to play? The higher self. It will start to guide you, it will start to direct you, it will start to help you to manifest. Because now, once you have an awareness that, hey, I know who I truly am, you're connected. Okay, the ego will do what? Will make you think you're not connected, because it wants to run your reality. So those are some tips that I want to leave with you guys. And once you're in the flow, then things will start working for you. I got an example. Look, I got this is a ticket today. I got what is a $100 ticket. Now this, I'll give you an example of what allowance is. So allowance is what now? I'm in a state of what? Focusing on what I want, seeing what I want, feeling what I want. So if I went today, I went into the store, and I went to the car shop today just to get some work done on my car. Gas station right there. I go in there and I get some change to pay the guy. As I'm walking out, guess who comes calling? The higher self. See? Allowance. And once my thoughts are always in line with what I want. So it brought me back in, and I said, hey, I must go back in. And I seen this scratch off, and just the mind just says, hey, get it. And I got it. Look, 100 bucks. That is how an example of allowance. Allowance means all you're doing is you're focusing on seeing the desires you want to accomplish, and the universe will bring them in to you. Okay, guys? So resistance mean what? Detach, leave it. Focus in the moment. You know it's coming, and you will manifest it. All right? So those are some tips about how to get things and how your mind and who you really are. Okay? So keep in mind, master your mind. Do not let your mind master you. Become the master, not the servant. Okay? As always, you can contact me, mhaughton76@gmail.com. If you have issues and you want your mind, you feel, hey, I can't do this by myself, I need help, this is where I can come in and help. And of course, you know, if I have room within the mentoring sessions or the coaching sessions, then of course I can always help you to get to that point where you have an awareness of your consciousness. Now you begin to collapse what is known as reality and create and bring in. Because key point, guys, what is reality? All reality is non-physical quantum particles, okay, that form and they bond in certain patterns and they create what you see. So because you are a what? Spiritual, a co-creator, what you do? You have domain over every particle. So you literally, yes, you can literally bring things in and create it. But the key is what? An awareness and know to differentiate between the ego, the subconscious, okay? So those are some quick tip videos for you guys. And continue to put forth, focus more on what you desire, and you will see the big difference in manifest. All right, guys, thank you so much. And of course, I'll do other videos and time persists, okay? Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.